Hey everyone. Um, this is my first year of anniversary of my first live stream, which kind of is exciting because I didn't think I was going to get to this point because I started doing just record videos, and I never thought I would be doing this. And Blue was the first one to do the first live stream with me, so I'm glad to have her on here. I mean,
Hello.
yeah, and what are some of your memories of the live streams that you've been in?
They all like lump together. Sometimes it's hilarious because I'll tell Jason, I said something on some stream or somebody said, I don't remember which stream it was because now I've been on so many of them and I've done quite a few of my own. So it's really hard like to remember which one you said what on. But yeah, I think it's a fun experience. I think in the last 6 months, I've had more fun with streams because it's a much more positive experience.
Oh, hey Neo, and then hit
Hey,
Rockets here.
Rocket.
Yeah, Rockets got to show
Yeah,
up.
yeah. And especially if you're in a chat with room with Rocket, you're definitely gonna laugh and have a good time, and you're also gonna have a good time in the Doctor Who chat
Yeah,
stream. So yeah, those are really good. Those two that I've been a part of, I've had loads of fun in.
yeah.
I've had some loads of fun in my own as well. And then not so much fun in some of my own. It's a mixed bag. You don't know what's going to happen when you go live, and
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it. So,
And when you go live, you don't know. You have to, you don't know if you say something stuck out there. Hey, Lizzie.
hey,
Yeah, there's one thing that sticked out that no one lets me forget is
is
when I
the
said,
goat.
yes,
Yeah.
the goat thing. I was saying my mom wants a goat, and it turned out was. So and it's like I told Yvette, they bring it up in Dr. Who's chat, their anniversary. And the way I told Yvette, I said, you have to laugh at yourself because
Yeah, you do.
if you don't laugh at yourself, then.
I've said some really crazy things lots of times when I was drinking. I get things mixed up all the time with Doctor Who titles. I get things mixed up. I mean, it happens. You sometimes your brain doesn't work like you want it to, and of all the brain cells I've destroyed over my 48 years, I'm not surprised that my memory isn't what it used to be, but sometimes it can be really good fun. And then I have Retro Doc over there to correct me, make sure I'm on point. So
I've been wanting to.
that's what he's there for.
I want to try to get Retro Talk on one of my streams. I know for a fact that he'll just keep going on because he never. I was like, he has a lot of information.
He does.
Mhm.
He does. I don't know how like he crams all that information in his brain. I get very quickly distracted by shiny things in an episode sometimes, so sometimes it's hard for me. It's like, oh, there's Paul McGann. Okay, what's the story about again?
Oh, that's another thing. In every stream I've done or been in, Paul McGann happens to come up. Paul McGann, Matt Smith.
Paul McGann is my savior right now because if I hadn't had those audiobooks, I would have been insane because it was cold. And so like I would basically light all the candles in the room, and then I would get under the Sub-Zero sleeping bag and I would turn on my Big Finish and I would just pretend like I'm watching an episode. That was the only thing that kept my sanity is Doctor Who. Big Finish Doctor Who, because you need something, because if you just sit there and think about how cold you are, it sucks. So that really did help me. I'm really glad that I got those from the library, and kudos to my library for finally getting a Big Finish section. Wow. I was shocked. So it was God. It was God that did that. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Like I said, since I have that, all that series 5 through 7 with Matt Smith has, it was the Time of the Doctor and the Day of the Doctor, and the Day of the Doctor I got even has a 3D CD. I'm like, wait a minute, we don't have a TV.
Yeah, you have to have a 3D television.
Mm-hmm.
I have one of those. It's Death in Heaven, and sadly I got that. I actually bought that at the dollar store. Like it's Death in Heaven and the other episode, and it's in 3D. And but it's still like it's a Blu-ray. So I figure, hey, that's not too bad. So I have that, and then I of course have the Peter Capaldi collection.
Oh yeah.
Like you have the Matt Smith collection. So I can watch any of his episodes at any time, which makes me really, really, really happy. So
I like rockets because I have lots of information crammed in my brain.
See, that's me.
Look at what Mr. Perkins says. I remember a lot of Michelle getting hot under the collar about Matt Smith.
Yeah, Matt Smith always like he always seemed like, okay, he's such a kid, like even when I was younger, I thought, wow, I just he looks too sweet, and I'm like, he's uncorrupt. He just doesn't look like he should be corrupted. So
here's another one. Melissa, let me put in here. Liz says, I get hot under the collar over Paul.
Yeah, and he still looks great for his age.
Oh,
my God. Him and Peter Capaldi are the same age.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're the same age. And, when we watched that interview on Christian's channel, that I was in the chat like completely like losing my mind because it's Paul McGann on the screen.
Total.
He's actually seeing my comments. I lost it. I became completely a stupid girl that I never thought I would become. But yeah, he looks so good. I was like, oh my God, I would not have believed he's like 62 years old.
I like the movie with that hairstyle he has. I don't really, but I like the hairstyle he has now.
Oh yeah, that was a wig because he had done Alien 3 and he had to shave his head, so that's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was a good idea to wear something on his head because that one looked really weird. Yeah,
seeing Matt Smith in the Time of the Doctor where he took off this hair. And you see him bald, it's like, what the?
Yeah.
Don't think I want him to have hair. He doesn't look good as bald.
I don't like, I didn't like the floppy thing he had in the front. I liked it when it was a little bit more coiffed. But yeah, he looks better in hair. He looks better with eyebrows too. I noticed he's got some eyebrows now. So it's like, I don't know why they didn't give him any eyebrows in Doctor Who. That was strange to me.
Oh, the tribute to Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor, I had to put the one for the eyebrows, from the day of the Doctor, just for you.
Oh yeah. I kind of figured that was for me because I've talked about that scene and how I felt like I literally, and I don't mean this like in that way, people are going to take it that way, but I literally got electricity. Like, I got goosebumps when I saw that scene because I knew at that point he would make a great Doctor. Like, I just knew it. And it was like, oh my God, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so epic. And, that's why I'm shocked when people, they can't appreciate it. Like, they just, like, why can't you appreciate it? It's so good. And I'm just like, I don't know.
Oh, by the way, Brockett, a friend of mine on Discord, sent me some somewhat nude of Paul McGann.
Yeah, I think he has been nude in movies.
Yeah, I think some of the ones that she showed me was like probably his head put on someone else's body. It was hard to tell.
Well, yeah, but he has been his back end has been in some movies like bare back end.
Oh, look, of course, if not, she'd be searching for them right after.
Yeah, I just want to make sure these are legit. Let me do a little search.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Let me look a little closer. Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me print these out. I want to make sure if these are legitimately Paul McGann naked.
The reason why I like Matt Smith is he played pretty much of a wise old man, but yet with a childlike view. Some of the episodes, that's the reason why I can relate to him, is that he just, his energetic, which he reminds me, the energetic of Tom Baker's Doctors, the energy, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can see that. I can appreciate that.
He made the Doctor unique, his Doctor unique.
Right. Looking back, I can see that more now. I think I was so just hung up on David Tennant leaving that I honestly was just, Yeah, because I was interested. I was really intrigued about how Matt, and I just remember feeling just really disappointed originally because I mean, I was just so because it really did seem like a different show in a way. It because the Russell T Davies era has a different feel as far as film and how pacing and things, and it just seemed so different that I think that it took me a while to get used to it. And now I quite enjoy some of the episodes. So
The saddest regeneration scene of any of the Doctor was Matt Smith. I mean that speech he did was just wonderful. You know.
well, you know, people don't like Moffat, but I think he can write a really great speech. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Every doctor that he had beautiful speeches.
Mhm.
You know, it's very difficult for me. There's some speeches that they that even Smith says they're just it gives me goosebumps. Or Capaldi with his, you know, his anti-war speech is like
Oh,
beautiful.
that
Um,
that right there. I mean, I'm not a fan of Capaldi, but that speech, oh my god, that just ooh, that
he's a wonderful actor. He is like in almost in some ways he's almost too good for Doctor Who, if you know what I mean, because he has such range and he can play any character. He can transform. He can, and why I loved him so much was because he could be every Doctor at any moment of any moment, any given moment. He could just turn on a dime and play any of them. Which is, I think that's why he's kind of the ultimate Doctor, because he has, you know, he was a fan, so he understands the character quite well.
and the same thing with David Tennant was a fan
Mhm.
of. But it's what's really weird is when I found out he married the fifth Doctor's doctor, so we can just say time travel is totally screwed up.
Yeah, I like what Doctor Who chat says. Capaldi knew how to give a speech. Whitaker knows how to kill a speech.
Oh yeah, and also Rocket said this shows you how bad Trimble is. He makes me miss Moffat, and I think
Yeah,
he's
I think I made a meme. I don't now have to find it in my arsenal of memes, but I said I put him in Mark Gatiss, and I put him in a picture, and I like miss us yet. And I posted that on a few places, and I got a very mixed bag of
yeah.
emotions and curse words. But
The only person I like when I've watched some of the episodes, I just wanted to watch a few episodes of the 12 of the season 12 with Jodie, which I
mhm.
regret because some of them were like, eh. But the one person I like when I've watched was Graham. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he was good. I just think that like and I don't know who said this. Like I said, I've watched so many streams and I've been on so many plant panels, and if you're in the chat and you said it, you know, lift your hand up and say it. But the thing is, I just think that Graham would be in, like back in the Russell T Davies era and the Moffat era, we would have just thought, oh, he's okay. He's an okay companion. But because he's with her, he seems like just a bright light
yeah.
compared.
Oh
Not that he's a bad actor. I just think that compared to some of the other companions you've had in the past, he's just okay.
yeah,
Honestly.
yeah.
I just think it's because compared to her, he's great. You
Yeah.
know.
Braga says Capaldi could make a terrible script good, which is true. Whitaker can make a good script terrible. I suppose it's a talent. And
Yeah.
that's definitely true because it's like you watch some of these, episodes of Capaldi that were just
Yeah, and you know,
you just pulled that
she's
up.
ruined a lot of things for me. But the other day, and I've actually had this thought previously, but the other day, because you know, all you have to do when you're cold and have no power is think, right? So I'm
Mhm.
listening to one of the McGann audios, one of them with Sheridan Smith, who plays Lucy, who I absolutely adore. I love her companion, and all I could think of is how much she sounds like Jodie Whittaker when she talks, and she really does. Like she could play the 13th Doctor. I'm not giving them ideas because they don't need that, but she sounds exactly like Jodie Whittaker when she talks.
The one thing
But I love her character, so it kind of says like, well, Jodie Whittaker I think would have made a great companion. I just don't think she's Doctor material.
yeah, it's like every time I hear her voice, I feel like nails on a chalkboard. It's like, ew.
Yeah,
Grim.
Sheridan Smith, although I like her, I think she's very talented as Lucy in the Big Finish audios. She really does sound like Jodie Whittaker. She really does. Like I could almost hear like her doing a 13. She could probably play it better, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently, when you got me to listen to some of the Big Finish ones, but when I Peter Davison one was kind, but the Paul McGann, well, maybe I
I
just
I
favor
think
him.
I don't remember which one it was. Was it the werewolf one with the Peter Davidson?
I think I think
Was
so.
it Loop de Guru? I can't. I think it's Loop
I
de
can't.
Guru.
Yeah, it's probably so.
I think Davidson is good in Big Finish in a lot of stories. I like Turlo. It's I mean, I prefer McGann, obviously.
Oh
And
yeah,
I think part of that is because like McGann didn't get very much, so you're just so hungry for things that you haven't like for a doctor that you haven't seen a lot or heard about a lot. I think that could be a part of it. Davidson was a hard sell for me in video format, but
yeah.
as far as Big Finish, yeah, I think he's great.
It's just when I listen to Paul McGann, it just as his voice is so smooth, and it's like,
Yeah, he has a nice not the way he says his words is very appealing.
oh boy, Rocky just came out with a good one. Jody would make a good doorstop. Okay, that's it.
So if you have Funko Pops, you could use them as doorstops.
Yeah,
Maybe I should. I've got a couple, so maybe I should just use it as a doorstop and then
yeah.
take video and then trigger all the.
But
I would trigger probably both sides, to be honest.
but yeah, but like I said, it's like on these lessons. The first one I did. The first one, I never thought I would get this far, and as some people say, it looks more confident. I get a little nervous still, but not like the first live stream. But it's like I never thought I would, you know, come this far, even with my recorded
Yeah.
videos. I never thought, it's like, and it's like I play Second Life, and I was talking to this one friend that I've known for a while. He's, oh, I'm talking to a famous YouTube star. I don't think I'm famous. I just,
None of us want to get famous, and I'll tell you why. Not that we can't handle it, but because when you get to a certain level, like I think you lose objectivity about yourself. I think you're doing it. You get to the point where you're just doing it for the wrong reasons. Yeah, I actually do. Would you like to see them?
Would you like to see them, Neil?
Yeah, I actually do. I pre-ordered a couple before, like, I saw how bad it was. And I have one only because I like anything with goggles on a figure and anything with glasses, and I'm a sucker. It gets me every time. But yeah, I do have them. I've been threatening to give them to a person that isn't a Doctor Who fan, and she thinks they're cute, but I haven't done it yet. Once I get to the point where like I need the space, I'll probably get rid of them.
Oh, so Sadagosis.
Okay.
Like
all right. Well, there's one that I can't get. It's a rock candy one, but you're not seeing anything. But hold on, I'll get them.
Okay. Ah, that would be interesting, Neil. Man, I'd like to see him too. Man.
Okay.
You see what
Neil triggered.
You see what Neil said? I want to see them burned on camera.
Well, that may happen to. Yeah. So this is the 13th one.
Ooh.
Okay. And I pre-ordered this one, so I didn't know. But Jason laughs at me, but I am a sucker for any kind of Funko with any kind of accessory on their face. And so I got this one because I love anything with, this is the, the one where she's making the sonic screwdriver out of Sheffield steel. And I'm a sucker. I can't help it. I'm a sucker for something with something on their face. I have lots of Funko Pops that have glasses or accessories. So that's my only. Yeah, that's my only.
Lizzie says, "My eyes." See that?
I also have the David Tennant one with the 3D glasses, which I absolutely adore.
Now the ones with that's good.
Yeah. So, and I actually have some Funkos that I'm not fans of the show as well. I just think they're cool. So, at some point or another, like I was trying to collect every Doctor Who, regardless of like the character or not. And then I think when The Timeless Child aired, I was like, oh yeah, no, I won't ever finish it because of her. So
Yeah, did you see what Rocket just said? Josie's Funko squishy and made out of plastic, so lifelike. Then
yeah, they are. And I am glad that they haven't made a Yaz one or a Ryan one.
Oh no.
And they actually have kind of quit they haven't really added anything else besides her. I think they made some ornaments which I will not hang on my tree. But no, they haven't made a Yaz Funko. Yeah, I have a plank of wood. I have that. That's my figure. I'm thinking about putting eyeballs on it and then like a little sprig of hair maybe. And then try to make it look like her a little, but paint it a little bit. I don't know. I would be completely like they would be like canceling me all over the place.
When I watched Spyfall, I thought, previous, oh, that looks good. It's like I watched both episodes. It's like paint. It's like you're sitting there watching paint dry or the grass grow. I mean, that's how bad it was. I literally had to force myself to sit down and watch those episodes. It's like, oh my god! It's like,
I think the Timeless Children kind of woke everyone's eyes up to it's not going to get any better. You're not going to find anything good in this ever, and so you might as well just stop collecting or stop caring. And I think we did.
I mean, after Capaldi left is when that's when Doctor Who ended.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw, and this is what a friend of mine said this, and this just explains. You know how the TARDIS knocked her out of the knocked her out.
Mm-hmm.
Kicked her out. It's kind of like saying, "Oh, the TARDIS knows this." But
I don't think that they did it that way for that reason, but we took it that way because they're too stupid to see that.
Sadigo says, I maintained my interest for 4 weeks and then gave up interest completely with, I can't say that, arachnids
in the UK.
Yeah,
that episode. And I know way too much about Jodie Whittaker and her seasons. I mean, I just, if I don't have to say or talk about that, not that we're doing anything wrong right now, but if I have to like focus on that, I start getting really, really down and depressed about Doctor Who. So I try not to do that too much.
The whole thing is when I watched those episodes of season 12, I think I wasted part of my life because it's like
you did, because you're wasting it on something that isn't worth it. To me, it's like it's better to focus on the Doctor Who you love, like maybe invest in, and I started investing in comics previous to her, invest in some Doctor Who books and the pre stuff. If you focus on that type of thing and you stay and keep your focus on that, you don't feel depressed. But the problem is people still focus on what's going on right now because it's only 2 years it'll be 3 years. It'll be 3 years of crap versus 54 years of just mostly excellence. So, I mean, there's some 80s Eric Sayward crap that, yeah. And Sadako knows what I'm talking about. And J&T stuff that's horrible. But compared to her, it's great. So, I mean, I can still enjoy that over.
Oh, Mr. Hyde's hiding behind the geek inside. Hi, Mr. Hyde.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, so
I try to focus on, and other fandoms as well. Like I focus on the good part of it. It's like you can get caught up focusing on someone canceling somebody from some show you like, and you completely forget why you like the show in the first place. You're too caught up on oh, they canceled this person and I like this person. So
Yeah.
you have to get a perspective, I think.
Yeah. Um, it's just the one stream where I did the review between with Turn Left, Stolen Earth, and Journey's End. That one of all my live streams I've done, that one has got the most views. That one has the most.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
I think there's more. I think there's no more new Who watchers. I mean, I really hope that I have changed that to a certain degree. I hope that I've encouraged people to watch more classic. Although I like new Who, I think I've had people message me saying, "Hey, because of you, I've watched John Pertwee. I think he's awesome." So that's my goal, is to get people open to classic Who.
Yeah. See, I started with New Who, and I was talking with a friend, and he was talking about some of the classic, doctors. I'm like, okay, there was doctors before. And it's like Neil says, couldn't you tell there was, doctors before with Christopher Eccleston saying about his ears and stuff? And, and I was like, well, that didn't really it didn't really sink in of a clue. And then when I started watching First Doctor. I watched up to their regeneration, and I can't do Colin pick and choose his episodes because I have to start from the first to his last. That's the way I do. And with Colin, it's just.
Well, I think you should give them a once watch anyway, because you never know what you're going to like and not like. So that's the thing. Like, there's some episodes that I'm going to have to rewatch, and I'm not, and I know I'm going to rewatch them, even though I say I don't. It's like that, that horrible abomination that Colin Baker was with Patrick Trout. We won't speak of the episode, but we all know who I'm talking about. And that's coming up because that's a Robert Holmes thing. And eventually I'll have to rewatch it. And I said I wouldn't. I watched it twice all the way through. And it's so bad that I just... So there's some awful Colin Baker, but then there's some really good ones too.
The only
not
one,
as good as Tom Baker, but
the only one of Peter Davison that I really pretty much enjoyed, and I know this is I know there's some probably good ones in there, but the one I enjoyed was the Five Doctors.
Yeah,
all of them together. It's like cool,
Yeah, and that's what you like. I mean that. There's some Peter Davison in there that are great. I like Earthshock. I mean, not just because Adric dies, although that's a plus. But I'm just saying it's a good episode though. Like there, I think toward the end of his run, I think he got better. And obviously people like Caves, for reasons. But it's a good episode as well, other than Perry.
And I like doing reviews of the classic Doctor Who episodes to get some people who are there to watch and say, oh, cool, and start watching the classic episodes. I mean, it's just that's because they may the special effects may look funky. It's just the stories are really good. I mean, I watched it. I was like, whoa, this special effect or this look of this alien, like the Centauran experiment, and as I'm looking at knowing in the New Who what the Centaurans look at, which are a whole lot better, I look at these ones, okay.
But the thing is with the Centaurans, I mean, yeah, they look a little bit better in the New Who, but really, do they? They still look like a potato. I mean, so I mean, there were some things in New Who that I think people thought were really great as far as special effects, and I'm over here going, really? I mean, and that's not to put down, but I think in American television, even in 2005, our special effects seemed a little bit better. So when I saw that people were really going nuts over this, I'm like, yeah, it's okay, but so I don't think that their special effects were really getting better until about the Smith and the Capaldi era. Actually, I think during those eras, I think the special effects were much, much, much better.
Yeah, but back then they didn't have good special effects, but the stories were good.
Right, the stories were really great. That's where yeah.
it's kind of makes you look past the bad, the aliens, the way they looked, the costumes and stuff, and the story is so good, you look past that.
Well, look at the Ark in space. You have bubble wrap and
Yeah, the bubble
some
wrap.
looks like some Nickelodeon slime. And,
Yeah, true.
yeah.
And
So
what about the one with the maggots?
yeah.
I mean, those. I wouldn't say what someone said they were, but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah. The special effects weren't great, but the stories were good and the acting was good. And of course the doctor was, on point. And you have to be a really great actor to play that part with really a fake rubber monster.
Yeah, look what Doctor Who chants, Neil Perkins. Doctor Who never used to worry about special effects, and the writing was good. Now the special effects are better, so they can't afford good writing.
That's true. They're more worried about the special effects and the agenda than the story.
Yeah.
The Green Death, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the episode. Thank you, Sadatigo.
That's a great episode. Yeah. That's one of the better Jon Pertwee episodes, in my opinion. I even actually like that better than Inferno. I know that's controversial to a lot of people, but I do like Inferno. I just think that the Green Death is superior.
You know how we say no hanky panky in the TARDIS?
Mm-hmm.
But the companions, even look in the classic ones, they don't get that sort of, but they care a lot about the Doctor.
I think it's a different type of love, though.
Yeah,
and I think that isn't shown enough in shows anyway. Like this pure love that isn't sexual. It's not about like being attractive to the opposite sex as far as boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband.
Yeah.
I think that's why I think I like the Clara in 12 combination better, because they're obviously like they have a different relationship, and I think that was very endearing. So that's why I think that the 12 companion thing is more like the classic.
But the one thing I was touching part is you could tell how much the Doctor cared is when Jon Pertwee was regenerating into Tom Baker, and he says, "A tear, Sarah Jane," and you can just see how much he cared for his companions. And Dr. O'Ray, the Dr. O'Ray cared, Pierce first, then Sadiko says Tom and Romana is the one
right, because they're like each other.
Yeah.
I can understand that more.
Here Rocket says these writers didn't seem to be able to grasp the concept that you can love someone without wanting to jump. Yeah, that
100%, because it's all about sex. Everything today is about that. Yeah, and there's only so much you can do with that, though. Mm-hmm. So there has to be more. And again, that's why I love and I know people don't like Clara. I know they don't like her, but I do like the 12 and Clara comparing because of that. Because it wasn't about and he made that very clear that he didn't want any of that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, for me, and I know this is, some people would say kind of really wrong. I liked when Claire was with the 11th Doctor. To me, there was a little bit more of, they clicked together. I just did not like Amy with the 11th Doctor.
No, I'm not an Amy fan at all. I actually like Claire way better with 11. Mm-hmm. I would agree. I don't like Amy because Amy acted like she was entitled. And she treated Rory like crap. And I love Rory. Rory was a great companion, and he kind of saved it for me with that combination. But I think she's a great actress. I just think, as her attitude was just.
I'm just reading Rocket's comment. I love cheese flavored Doritos, so I don't want to get in bed with them.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I have to sometimes Rocket can come out with some crazy funny, but then he can come out with some,
ones that shouldn't be repeated on the internet, but we do it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But like I said, I mean, you know, I mean, when we there's one person we don't want to name names, but I don't want to mention. But it was because of going to his live streams kind of got me to hint. So, oh, I would like to do them, and that's what got me started and stuff like that. And I don't like the bickering. I want to sit back and have fun
Mm-hmm.
because I want to forget. I mean, I have enough stress in my real life, like trying to find a job and stuff like that. Like for me in the medical field, but to be a medical billing coder, you got to be certified, and I don't have the car and the money for it. So I'm looking at anything to take anything, not a dishwasher, which I tried, but I just look at my my boyfriend in certain situations and stuff. Why is it always men whenever you ask what they want for dinner and they say, I don't care, or food? I
Whatever you
don't,
want.
yeah, whatever you want. Yeah, it's true.
But wait, yeah. I
But the
mean,
whole thing is I have enough stress in my personal life with my parents and personal things I need to deal with, you know, and I don't need that. I don't need that in a live stream. I want to sit back, left, and like you, when I've been depressed, I would put on a Doctor Who episode and just forget.
yeah, it never like even though like I was depressed about what was happening with Doctor Who, like it never tainted the what came before because
No,
that's what came before. It doesn't change anything.
no, this
I don't understand people that get caught up in that. But yeah, as far as YouTube, what I was going back to saying earlier is that you don't want like I don't like everything every time I've ever noticed that someone gets they get everything they want and they have all these subs and they're making money off of YouTube, they change.
yeah, they changed. I don't like. I
It's
don't
not
like
it's not because they're bad people. It's because because they have to make videos. It's not the same when you have to do something.
no.
It takes away the spontaneity. It takes away your love for it. And I think they get burnt out. And I think it all becomes about being monetized and they have to keep that up. So they have to just keep on with this persona and they can't be themselves. And I think that's the sad thing about YouTube now.
Yeah, like me, it's like I don't do live streams. Have live streams planned. It's to me, it's like okay, I want to do this, and I mean, I don't do like videos like every day because it's like whoa, like I said, I don't want to get too overwhelmed. Um, by the way, Sadako says rewatched and home.
Yeah,
Has
that's really great. I'm glad because like I said, for me during the power outage, getting back into Big Finish a little bit kind of like lifted my spirits, even though I was like very cold and there was moments where I'm just like I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my mind if this power doesn't come on, and it's really cold in here. But yeah, those Doctor Who is really it can lift your spirits.
Mr. Neil Perkins says it becomes all about the money. I won't be able to make the streams. I want if it was money.
Yeah, and I was kind of like wanting to, not because I don't like my job. And I do enjoy doing this. I do enjoy talking to people and I do enjoy talking about Doctor Who. So wouldn't someone want to get paid for doing what you love, right? Yeah. But the problem is that when it becomes a job is when it takes away your love. So you have to remember that. And not always. I think that there's some really great people that have lots of subs and they haven't changed, but that's kind of a rarity.
Yeah. And for me, if I get a whole lot of stuff, if I get a lot more stuff, that's fine. But that's not the reason why I do all this. I do because I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that I want to have pleasure. I want to enjoy it. I don't want it to become a grind, everyday thing. Like, okay, I got to do this. I got to work on research.
When it becomes a stressful experience, you have to step back and you have to take stock and you have to say, okay, I need a break. And I do that periodically. Like I actually kind of was very like disenchanted with streaming for a little bit. So we stopped. And then now I'm making videos and now I feel creative again.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important to have a good mixture. Make videos too. Like even if it's 5 minutes, just to talk about something that's on your mind, or it's therapeutic, and or something you love, or something you bought or got. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour or 3-hour stream.
Yeah.
I think people forget that. I think streaming's kind of gotten so big that people don't. I mean, people can do what they want, but for me, I like a good mix of. So I'll probably make a video later today, just about whatever. Like, I had recently bought a bunch of stones and for calming and stuff and healing, and so like I may talk about that.
Yeah, like crystals. Basically.
Yeah. So I mean, anything that you're into at the moment, make a video about it. Make a video about your passions, because I think you're gonna find a lot more people that might relate with that. Maybe not everybody, but you're gonna find one or two, and then I don't know. That inspires me when I feel connected, and I think that's what we all want, is to feel connected to another person.
It's I like some of the people that have been on my live streams, like Mr. Perkins, Mr. Hyde, Yvette, Lizzie, and I finally got Dean on one of the streams, and
I still haven't got him on one of mine. Yeah, haven't done that yet.
Yeah, and there's some I want to get Gary on one of my live streams. I would like to have Starya Girl on one of my streams. So I mean, just to shake it up. But I mean, I was like, that one stream I did, and I finally got Dean. Like, oh my God, I finally got him. And Neil says, always do what you love.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you don't think anybody else will be into it, there's always somebody that's going to be into what you're talking about. Always.
We always tried to get Rocket into a stream. We're trying to talk him. I tried to make a video about all the good points of Sirius 12.
It's probably about 10 seconds, because you got to say goodbye too. Can't be rude. Can't just like click off of it. So it's got to be at least 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah. This Neil says Dean is in demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but it's just I don't. I'm also, some people, I want to get my streams, and then you or Lizzie let me know. No, let me know. I was like, oh, okay, because sometimes I wouldn't say I'm naive, but sometimes I don't basically know that, that YouTuber, that he's, more negative or more.
There's a lot of them out there, because, and this is the thing, you have to realize that a lot negative sells initially, because it's like a train wreck. Why do you think reality television is so popular? Because most of the time it's negative.
Yeah.
So that sucks them in, but that's not that doesn't have, to me, that has no staying power, because at the end of the day, people can only handle so much of that. Maybe some people can handle more, and there are those people, but generally those people are going to get tired of it, and then they're going to turn on you.
Yeah.
And that's what happens, because you can only keep being that kind of, I don't want to say, like, you can't project that much hatred out in the world and expect people to not turn on you at some point, because they will. So you have to be balanced.
Rocket's working on camera, so be careful what you wish for.
Well, you will be high in demand.
Yeah, you'll be high
but
demand.
If you come on my stream, well, I do that most of the time. I'm gonna put an adult label on it, unless it's just like we said, maybe one word.
Yeah.
I would have to just put triple X.
Yeah, but when I start talking about Paul McGann, Matt Smith, I get kind of overheated. But I'm also kind of glad you got me starting to listen to some of the Big Finish, and I gotta start, listen to more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when you read the reviews with Daniel and stuff, and I had to listen to Big Finish, I lay on my couch and just like listen to Paul McGann. It's like, scare me away.
Yeah, he's very good at that. Like I'm very disappointed that we didn't get at least a mini series or something. Maybe HBO Max will do something good, and we may, I don't know why I had this feeling, that at some point they will do a side series for Doctor Who. I don't know why I have this feeling, but ever since that interview, it almost seems like he was almost going to say something, but he didn't. I need to go back and listen to that interview, but I'm kind of thinking that there might be something. And I also saw a trailer for they said it was fan made, but it just seemed too like professional to me for it not to be. So I'm wondering, like, I don't know. I just got this feeling that there might be something coming in the horizon for him.
Oh, that would
maybe even if it's animated, which I'd still be okay with. But it needs to happen. Like, there needs to be some action, like, on the screen with, even if it's animated. And I think that might actually make fans happy.
Oh yeah, that would make a lot of fans happy. I mean, it would really, it really would make me happy because then I would get a chance. Oh, I was watching one of on YouTube. I think it was like one of these, it was a panel and it was just him and everything. They had him read the speech of the Pandorica, and oh my God, it was
wow. I haven't seen that. I'll have to look that up. I have not seen that. I've seen the John Hurt reading the war speech from Peter Capaldi, and although in your mind you're thinking, oh, that'll be great, it didn't have the impact. And I love John Hurt. I thought John Hurt was a great war doctor, but yeah, I would like to hear that. I think that would be great to hear.
They also have Sylvester McCoy reading it too, and with the kind of accent he has, it was very it was good.
It's interesting to see how they would do it. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how David Tennant would have done that, or any of them really.
I would like to hear. I would like to hear Peter Capaldi do the speech.
Oh my God, I don't know if I could handle that.
Probably your favorite,
and it may not be the same. And just because you think it's would be good, it may not be. Like, I thought the John Hurt, thing that he did with the war speech that Peter Capaldi did would be great, but it really wasn't.
I would like to listen. That would be interesting.
It's interesting, but it's not like what you're thinking. Like, you think, oh, that's going to be epic, and it's like, I still like the Peter Capaldi one better.
When I love as much as Peter Capaldi, I liked him. He was good. He wasn't too crazy, but that speech, that worst speech, that right there, I was like, oh my God, this guy's amazing with this.
Neil, Mr. Hyde and I were talking about the scene in the Dr. Falls where he's talking about, there not being any stars. And to me, that was great as well. That was so much emotion in that. And that was close toward the end. So we were all probably crying anyway at that point because we knew it was going to happen.
We knew what was coming.
Even though we were hoping that maybe it was like, he's going to refuse to regenerate, which in hindsight, they probably should just done that.
He'll wake up and say, oh my God, this was a nightmare.
But I love that. And I actually like the speech that he was giving the John Sim Master and Missy, where he was trying to get them to get on his side. That was brilliant. And I think it was underrated. Because a lot of people felt like they were a little underwhelmed by that speech, but they weren't listening because it was perfect. It was the Doctor. It was everything he stood for and all those years of who he's always been. Which I quite like that one too. There's so many. There really is. There's so many great speeches by the Doctor.
I would like to see. I watched Highlander, but there's another spinoff called The Raven, and I found out that Michelle Gomez was in it. I'm like, oh, I got.
I didn't. Yeah, I think you had mentioned that in one of their streams, and I didn't know she was in Sabrina, and she's the only reason to watch that show. Actually, she does evil so good.
That's the reason why I could see her playing the Romana, but she did kind of sort got the feel of the Master.
A lot of people don't agree with me, but Roger Delgado will always be my master.
Oh yeah,
Always be the master to me. But
yeah,
she comes very close to that. So that tells you, for me, she could do it. A lot of people didn't like it because of what it meant, and I think
yeah,
down the line, yeah. But I think we would be having a different conversation if Chibnall knew how to cast people. He
yeah.
doesn't.
No,
Um, should the doctor be female? No.
no.
But if you're going to do it,
Pick someone
have
who
pick
can.
someone who can play it and
Yeah.
change people's minds. Because I think if you would have asked me, what do you think about the master being female? I would have said no,
Mhm.
never.
Mm.
But because she was good, it changed my mind. And I
Oh,
think that's how you change people's minds, not by forcing agenda on them,
no.
not saying, "Oh, you're going to like this or you're this or that. You're a misogynist, you're a horrible person, you're a racist." You have to change people's minds by the performance. Not by pushing an agenda and labeling them. Never
Yeah.
works.
I fought John Sim as the master. He was a crazy maniac, which in
Mm-hmm.
a sense the master is. He's a somewhat crazy because of and I kind of liked him in a way per se, but like I said, Roger Delgado, or however
Delgado. Yeah.
Delgado. I when I watched him and some of the, I was like, oh my god, I like him. He does it so
Mm-hmm.
well. And
Yeah. And the odd thing is the other day, and I have had this discussion with Daniel many times because the Doctor Who the movie, obviously Eric Roberts played the Master, and I wasn't a fan of his portrayal, but he had shared a clip with me. Eric Roberts is going to be in a new Big Finish audio, and I heard the clip and it was good. Like I just think because he was a lot younger when he was in that TV movie.
yeah,
I think he's going to change minds about his portrayal as the master because from what I heard, it was rather good and I was shocked. I didn't expect that because I didn't like his portrayal at all in the Doctor Who in the movie. But yeah, I'd be interesting to actually getting that and listening to it. It's from his perspective, obviously. I think it's called The Master.
yeah.
Um,
I would have to give that a listen too.
Yeah, I mean, I like Eric Roberts in certain roles, but I think as he's older, I think he's learned a thing or two.
More seasoned.
He's more seasoned, and yes, he does do it with American accent. I know that might trigger a lot of people, but wow, very good. From what I heard,
It's
so
kind of like I watch, Hugh Jackman, see him in the X-Men, and he's got an American accent, and then when I heard him in an interview and I heard his Australian accent, it's like, whoa. And I didn't know, because when he played a character that's American, it's like you can't he was so good that you couldn't tell.
yeah, I think I know what Sadako's saying. Yeah, I didn't like Eric Roberts as far as his portrayal because it just didn't seem right, and it was just and it could have been partly because of the script, partly because how he looked. There's a lot of different things, but just hearing him in this audio, I was like, oh wow, that's not anything at all like I expected. So he's learned a thing or two, and that's always how it happens. I mean, Eric Roberts has got to be he's close to 70 now, so I mean, I'm sure he's learned a few things. Yeah, he's up there. I don't know exactly if he's 70. I'd have to look it up, but I think he's in his late 60s.
Another thing is what we all say is the day Tom Baker dies, we're all gonna be have a hard time.
I hope he lives forever. He's actually not 70. I apologize for that. He's 64, but he's not a spring chicken.
That's just true.
Yeah, he looks older than I think what he is. No hate on that. I'm just saying he looks a lot older. But
I mean, Paul McGann, you know his age. He just doesn't look.
Paul McGann looks younger than Eric Roberts. I can tell you.
But he's easy on the eyes too, and those. I gotta stop. I need to go.
And have you seen the rest? He has brothers.
Oh, he does.
Tons. Yeah, you should look it up. Look up
Oh,
Paul McGann and his brothers. There's like, and they all kind of look very similar to each other.
whoa, that's scary right there. to
Yeah,
think
he has
about.
lots of brothers. I think some of them are actors, but I've never seen anything that they've been in. But yeah, he has brothers.
Yeah, but it's like talking about Paul McGann. I think I need to take a cold shower. That and Matt Smith. But
Yeah, I didn't realize that I had seen him in a lot of movies. By the time I had figured out he was in Interview with the Vampire, um, I was like, wow, that's Paul McGann. It doesn't look like him, but he played David Talbot in Interview with the Vampire.
oh, Neil says Tom's death would be a sad day indeed. I may have to wear a scarf on streams for a year.
No, we're gonna say that he's gonna live forever because that's what the doctor does.
Yeah,
So,
true.
And or look at it this way, like how I think I don't know if he was the one that said it. It might be, like I said, I get everything confused because I've just all the knowledge up there just swims around and gets mixed up.
And plus, when you're a fangirl too.
Yeah, I think it was like when Elizabeth Sladen died, somebody had said that no, it was in that thing that Russell T did where Ronnie, who was a character from the Sarah Jane Adventures, had described her being she's alive somewhere. Yeah, her character is alive. Her character Sarah Jane is alive in some other like time.
Yeah.
And so when she put it that way, it was kind of like people saying, okay, imagine if Elizabeth Sladen was alive in a different, we just can't get there. It'd be the same with Tom Baker. Like, okay, just imagine him as a doctor flying around in some other.
Yeah, but it's like, even though they'll be gone, their memory will still be there.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what, I think that they're trying to get at. But, yeah, I think that will be a hard day for everybody.
Oh, I want to get some of Tom Baker's DVDs of his episodes.
I think they got a couple of sales on Amazon right now. I think the first season and the last season he did were like on sale for $34.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that. That.
I don't even know why that they do these Blu-rays in the wrong order, but they do. It kind of annoys me a little bit. It's like do the first season, then do the second season. Like I don't get that, but whatever.
I mean, I was happy when you told me about that full set of the seasons for Matt Smith. I'm like, I get that. I gotta get that. Get.
I mean, it's not Blu-ray, but I mean, and if you've seen a lot of the interviews anyway, you don't need all the extras. Like in the Peter Capaldi one is the same way. I've seen so many panels with Peter Capaldi. Do I really need extras? Yeah, no. I mean, there's so many things on YouTube that I almost kind of feel like sometimes the extras are good. Like on the Tom the first season, the Tom Blu-ray, there's a lot of cool extras that you can't get. So yeah, I get it, but
when you can just look up on YouTube some of the.
I think the Blu-ray one has special ones though, but at some point or another, I'm sure you'll be able to find them somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. But like I said, I want to do some more classic reviews. I'm thinking about also doing some of the Matt Smith ones. I like A Good Man Goes to War. There's some good speeches in that one.
Yeah.
I like the part where he's like, all the lights are out and then they come up and you hear him speak, but you don't know where the heck he's at.
Right.
And I also like Nightmare in Silver because it seems like a split personality. Like he can play his doctor and then he can play the evil, like the cyber evil part of the Cyberman, because of the implant that's on his, on the side of his face. So he could play it's like he could play, you know what I'm talking about. He's like, he can switch and play a different, it's like, so there's not many actors can play, like a good character and then the bad ones. Like,
well, I think Doctor Who needs to get back to hiring character actors instead of planks of wood and people that have a personality of a piece of cardboard. I think that's the problem. And that's not trying to be insulting to anybody. That's just the truth. I mean, the Doctor's always been a character, and you can't, and even the companions are quite character actors as well, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But yet they get people like Tolson Cole, who basically really literally has no personality in real life. You have to be bigger than life to be in Doctor Who. And if you're not, you don't need to be in Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah.
And that's including the companions as well.
Mm-hmm. I was at Walmart. We were at Walmart one time shopping, and I went to the electronics, and there was a person at work there. I said, do you have any Doctor Who stuff? And they took me. He said, yeah, we do. And we took me back, and there's all these 13 Doctor. I mean, there's so many of them, but then you saw all David, the David Tennant, and then you saw
they had that.
There was not many left, like maybe one or two. I was like, whoa.
But there's tons of 13, right?
Yep, there was tons.
Yeah.
I was like, that shows me that people care more about the other New Who Doctors than her.
For the longest time, my Walmart, I think I still have a picture of it. I really wanted it, but it was for the longest time, even after 13, I think it was even during the 12th season, they still had the Peter Capaldi like end cap picture. And Walmart. I was like, yeah. And in fact, Entertainment Earth, when you look up Doctor Who,
yeah,
they still have the 12th Doctor Who logo. They still have not changed it. Their little icon, when you go to look, okay, this is the Doctor Who section.
Yeah,
it's not the new logo, and I'm like, that makes me really happy.
I know if you would had chance, you would buy a cardboard. Look,
I would, but I don't have room. Like, I barely have room. I'm like, you guys can't see, but like this whole wall right here is just Doctor Who Funkos. And then up here, and you've probably seen pictures, I have like all kinds of different Funkos from different fandoms up here. And then Funkoverse on my desk. And I wouldn't have room anyway. Unless I have like my dream room, which is basically a room where I'm going to have my Doctor Who pinball, my Star Trek pinball machines, and then all my stuff. Because one day when I get rich and win the lottery, I will have a full room dedicated to all kinds of stuff that I love. So,
and you will have a TARDIS bar.
I'll have an area where it goes off, and it's the 12th Doctor TARDIS. And it will be inside, and it will be a replica. I will have that. If I win the lottery and I have enough money, I will make that happen. And then I'll have a room, and then I can just hang out in there and play with the TARDIS.
I'm surprised Jason supports you in that.
He does. He actually makes it worse because he actually buys me stuff, or he's been very encouraged. I mean, he likes Funkos too. Like the one behind my head is his wall. Is his shelf. So he just likes different ones. He just likes ad icons and things, and Hanna-Barbera and stuff like that. I like more like Blade Runner and Doctor Who and Mandalorian and those types of things. But yeah, he does like very. In fact, I did buy him a Scooby-Doo Dorbs rides. It's like the Mystery Machine, because he loves he loves things like that make him remember being a kid. And so yeah, I mean, he encourages it because he bought 2 and I bought 1 yesterday, so but I just collect different things.
Yeah,
but they make you happy. I mean, whatever makes you happy. If buying, I don't know, Star Trek stuff makes you happy, or I mean, hell, if you even buy if you love this new era and that makes you happy, buy it. I don't care. Just don't get on me for not doing it, or I was doing it. But
if you look at Dean when he's in the Shed Dread, you can see all the stuff he has there. The stuff is like cool.
I've had to take some of mine out of the boxes because I don't have room anymore. In fact, I have some on the shelf here that I actually had to take out, like this Wonder Woman one. So yeah, I like Wonder Woman stuff and Batgirl stuff, and
I need more collection of stuff besides the DVDs and well, like
Yeah, it like I tell people, don't try to collect everything. Collect what you actually can't live without. Think on it. Like I always think on something. I don't just buy it on the spare. I used to do that. Like, oh, I like this was cute too, and I buy it. I think on it, and if I can't get out of my mind, then I'll buy it because if you buy everything, you won't. It's like it gets ridiculous. I have 100. We have 127 pops now,
shoot.
and that's nothing. Some people have 10,000.
Oh, talking about Plinko Wood. When I saw what the dollars look like, and then this Dalek for this, season 13,
Uh-huh.
butt plug.
Yeah, I actually have the resolution Dalek, and the reason
Uh-oh.
why, but I like the Funko because, yeah, I'm trying to look for it. I like the Funko because the Funko actually looks better than the resolution one in the show. If they would have actually done it how Funko did it, it'd be cool, but they didn't. I actually do have that one. I actually do like that. I like the way that they did the sculpt on the figure, but the actual episode, it sucks. It's like a horrible Dalek.
And another thing is like another thing I basically like that even Doctor I tried to do seeing Doctor Who chat is the caption contest. I think that, oh my god, it's so funny, especially with Rocket coming up with some straight
Oh yeah.
construction.
Yeah. I mean, there's some other people that come up with some really good ones too.
Uh oh,
Yeah, that's not my phone. That's Jason's phone.
that's it's
But yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I do enjoy those. I think those are really funny. I know you've done a few too as well in your streams.
Oh yeah. Um, Yeah, Rocket says my weakness has always been DVDs now Blu-rays.
That's good to do that. I mean, I've started doing that because I think for a long time I relied on streaming services, and the bad thing about that is that when they take it off, that's it. You don't get to watch it again.
Yeah,
Yeah, I still haven't watched it. I'm proud of myself.
yeah. So, like I said, it's like I refuse. I when I saw when season 11 came out, I thought, well, I'm gonna watch, the Woman that Falls to Earth, and I'm like, just about like a few minutes in, I was like, okay, I can't do this. I can't do this. But in season 12, I tried to think, okay, I'm going Spyfall looked interesting, so okay, maybe this might be good. And I'm like, oh god.
I think there was elements in that episode that were interesting, like the creatures that they brought. I think that was interesting, but she ruins everything that she's in because it's like Mr. Bean has arrived, and now Mr. Bean's going to try, and nothing against Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean's great, and Mr. Bean. But I'm surprised she didn't put some big floppy shoes on, and as she's running toward the plane, and she just
like a clown.
Yeah, it just seems like you ask yourself, is this a parody?
This is all a nightmare or a alternate universe.
Yeah, and I think they're still in denial, and they're still trying to figure out why she isn't popular. And the only thing they got is, well, you're all misogynist, and if you don't like the fugitive doctor is what they call it now. If you don't like her, you're a racist. No, I just don't want like a British version of Whoopi Goldberg playing the doctor.
No,
That's
no,
what I
no,
don't
no,
want.
no,
I
no.
don't want that. She doesn't look. It's not all about looks, but she looks like somebody that's she looks like a nice person. I would think she would be a great person. I wouldn't mistreat a person like that. I just think she doesn't even have the right look for the doctor, and it has nothing to do with her skin color. It has to do with the fact that she looks like she's waiting for her kids at the bus stop.
Oh, Sadatico says she's the pound shop bubble. Don't ask. But like I said, it's like doing these live streams have been. I like whenever you do a review live stream. It's like whenever you're doing a recorded review of an episode. It's like just your side. But when you do live stream reviewing it, and you got more people in there, it's
Hmm.
get all different views of, okay,
I think it just depends on the subject. I just think it depends, and I think they both can work, and they can both be very interesting. I do enjoy doing it by myself as well, because sometimes you just want to get your opinion out and you just want to get it out there.
oh yeah,
Because sometimes I think it can be very, it's not easy doing them because you have to keep everybody on subject. You have to, I mean, so it is a job, keeping everyone subject, and keeping it moving on, and paying attention to the chat. That can be very, I mean,
yeah.
it's people think it's easy, but it's really not.
Oh, Brackett says I got called a misogynist and a sexist,
Misogynist.
misogynist and sexist for saying Scarlet Witch is better than Captain Marvel. Still trying to figure that one out.
I was called a misogynist for not liking Jodie Whittaker, and I'm a
Um,
woman, so it doesn't make sense. They it doesn't make sense. They try to spin it to where they think it makes sense, but to everybody that's got a brain, we realize that those people are nuts, and it's
oh
like giving a microphone to people in an insane asylum.
yeah. When season 11 came out, I decided to do my rant basically, but it was more like, well, if you like it, fine. And I saw how many, I mean, I got a lot of negative, comments about it. I was
Hmm.
like, I don't care. I'm just, it's like I said, if you like this doctor, fine. That's your, just don't bash me that I don't like her because I don't bash you.
Right.
And that's one thing that has kind of fractured the fandom is you get that people who don't like her and that people like her, and they're both negative, and
Hmm.
it's like
I think that it's on both sides in one way, because I think there was there was people that are so convinced that she's the reason that this is why it sucks. She's a part of it,
yeah,
granted.
she's a part of,
Okay, but she didn't ask for the job.
no, she was given it. She
She
was
was
all,
given the job. Okay, yeah, and they're like, well, she should know better, and she should want. I'm like, look, she's being told she's doing a great job by Chibnall. If anyone's to blame, it's the BBC and Ofcom, because they want this. But there's still people that want to say that she deserves to be horrible things. Okay, and I don't agree with that. I understood the anger at first at her. I got that, right? Because
uh,
you're just angry, and people are just angry. But it's gone so long with people hating on Jodie Whittaker that it's like, look, this isn't her fault.
no,
This really isn't. Yes, she contributes to it being bad, but she didn't hire herself.
no. She was auditioning for like one of the aliens, like
Hmm.
one of the. That's what she was auditioning. She wasn't auditioning for the doctor. From what I found out, she was auditioning for a different role in Doctor Who.
Yeah, she thought
And
she was going to be a villain, or
yeah,
which
well,
I still think she'd been bad, or companion. And I think as a companion, she might have been okay. I probably wouldn't have liked her companion, but I would have rather had that. But
yeah,
again, even if you would have gotten a male doctor during the Chibnall era, it still would have been bad, because he would have forced agenda down your throat. It was just even worse that it was a female. Um, but again, I don't think it's her fault, even though I don't like her in the role. I still think that even if you had a good writer, it still would be bad, because she can't act and she can't play the doctor. But and then it would be her fault. But in this case, it's not, because she didn't hire herself. The BBC should have fired her, because she wasn't doing her job. And first of all, they shouldn't have been lying to her saying she's doing a great job.
yeah.
Yes, yes, exactly. It's Jody derangement syndrome, and
Um,
those I've been attacked by those people as well, because I dared say that it's not her fault, and they pile on you and think you're a fan. I'm like, no, I'm not a fan. I don't like the way she acts, but it's not. And they're still in denial that the BBC want this. The BBC
yeah,
want this. The BBC, all those people saying that, oh, the BBC, where there was all these meetings, and they weren't happy, and it's like, no, they're fine with it. Trust me, they're
and
fine with it. They love all this stuff.
no. Um, Rocket says, I don't agree with a lot of things people say to Whitaker, but being honest, she provoked the fans with what she said when she was the first announced. She went out of her way to stir.
Right, but you gotta understand that that was all orchestrated by the BBC. Because, and not saying she doesn't believe those things. Obviously, she does. She's a feminazi. I mean, I'm not. Don't misunderstand me. She's absolutely a feminazi. But the thing is that they orchestrated it that way. So I don't think it was her idea. Hey, I got a great idea, because she's the new person on in the role. She's not going to be like dictating them what they do. They had everything to do with how she was perceived, what she said. All that scripted thing with the text was all scripted by the BBC.
Yeah, yeah, because
So
yeah, it's like people, in the BBC, they say what the BBC wants them to say.
exactly.
And also, when Jodie came out, a lot of the classic doctors, you can tell they like. I think I heard one thing about Peter Davison.
Yeah.
And then the classic ones, when they're against the female doctor, they get the backlash.
Well,
they have
that's true. I do think some people are fine with it. Obviously, Colin Baker is fine with it. But I agree with I don't think that was right. I don't like what she says. I don't like what she believes in. I'm not for what she believes in and what she thinks about white men. But she's obviously brainwashed as well. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, but I think she believes how like they believe, to the extreme that it's all about the white patriarchy, and the white male gaze, and she's mentioned that. So that's a very feminazi talking point. So yeah, while she may not be as like screaming the patriarchy like Madonna or any of those other crazies, Ashley Judd, I think that she holds those, and she's against men to a certain degree, but she's not as outwardly, what's the word, violent about it within her speech. I just think, she's a little snooty with it, though.
It's just,
but that was orchestrated.
It's just, they could have, like I said, if they would have picked a male doctor working with Chimbo, it still would have been.
Oh, it would have been bad. And
Yes.
and people getting excited about the fact that she's leaving, and people thinking, oh, it's gonna be Michael Sheen, it's gonna be this person. I forgot who else, Himesh Patel, which I would actually like because he's a good actor. Yeah, it's not happening, people. Forget it. It's not. It's gonna be a black woman. Guarantee it's gonna be a black woman.
As long as Chimbo stays, then it's gonna still be bad.
It's going to be a black lesbian woman.
Oh my God.
And if I'm wrong, I will go on a video and say I was wrong. But I'm telling you, it's going to be a black lesbian woman, and she's going to be a lesbian in real life. And then they're going to write. I could be wrong, but it's not going to be a male. And if it's a man, great, but it's still not going to be good.
No. Now there's one character I like. If the character Bill, if she wasn't stating the fact, oh, I'm lesbian, and like pushing that part. If she didn't like really put it out there, that reminder,
right. I love Bill. I think it was a little much. Of course, she's not writing the script. She's just the actress, and I think a lot of times the actors get the brunt of it, and because those aren't their own words. But I like her character because after Clara had seen it all. It's nice to have a companion that was wowed by it all. So again, you need that periodically.
Yeah, you saw her in a lot of the things. She was like, a lot of the episodes, she's like, wow, take more like like amazed. Like Claire, like knew everything.
Right. She got a little, and true, she got a little big for her britches. But the thing is that that kind of bit her in the butt. And that was kind of like, she was a real person. Like in reality, if you're hanging out with somebody, you get enamored with them, but then you start seeing the other person's flaws. And I think she got to where she was nitpicking with the doctor and Well, I don't like that. I think that's more realistic portrayal of a person, because people are going to get annoyed with people they love, and that's normal.
Yeah.
So
Rocket says, I'll be glad to see Whitaker go, but she is just the
chalice.
chalice that holds the poison.
Mhm.
The poison Chimbo is still going to be there, so it won't be changed. And then here's what Sadako says: feminists don't ever act the way they claim to believe in. They claim to hate
Misogyny.
misogyny, but have nothing to say about Islam.
Yeah. Islam is a religion that definitely does not like women. If you've ever seen a movie called The Stoning of a Soraya M, I recommend it because it shows how they treat women, how women are looked upon in their society, and it is horrible. So yeah, and they uplift all that, but yet, they claim to be a feminist, which the hypocrisy, right? That's a big thing. As far as Chibnall leaving, even if he left, I think it still would be agenda related, because they're going to get somebody just that thinks like Chibnall does.
Because the BBC wants
and Ofcom, and they answer to Ofcom, and Ofcom's all about diversity and leftist ideals and really extreme leftists. I don't want to say leftist because not all leftist ideals are horrible, but the extreme like woke brigade.
I know I would like to see, I mean, I hate to say that, I would like to see it go on hiatus for a bit, and then after hiatus, then bring it back to, but the BBC's not going to do it.
Yeah.
If they do, it's still got to be their same agenda.
And I think I have a very negative view, but the only way I feel like the Doctor Who will be great again, is if it gets out of the hands of the BBC, which I don't know if that will ever happen. And I'm praying it does. I'm praying that somebody with enough money to entice the BBC of letting go of it and giving it to them would be great. Somebody that loves it, somebody that's a fan, somebody that wants to see the best for it.
Like Russell T Davies was a fan of Doctor Who, which made a lot of his writing.
He was, but the things he's been saying recently, I take issue with. And I think he would write with an agenda. I think that would be a big thing with him too. So you would need somebody that is not politically charged, that's all into politics. You would need someone that keeps their own political ideology out of the stories.
Yeah. Rocket Runner says, I honestly think no matter what happens with Who, there has been too much damage done for it to carry on. It needs to go away for a decade and then be brought back.
I think I agree with that if it's given to the wrong person, but if it's given to someone, and I already know what I would do. I absolutely know what I would do if I had the money to buy it. I know who I would hire. I know what stipulations I would set for the show. I know I would bring in Peter Capaldi to direct and be a consultant. I would have Neil Gaiman as my head writer, along with an original Who writer that I could find from the New Who era. That I'm not even sure right now who I'd have, but I'd have him. I would bring back Rachel Taylor. I would bring back Murray Gold. I would retcon this series immediately. I would get writers on that immediately. So I would probably piss off a lot of people, but I would make the fans very happy. So I think it depends on the person that you get. And, I think if you got a regular person that loves the show, I mean, I would love to take that on. I would totally take that on under my wing and make it happen. And unlike the BBC, I would listen to the fans. I really would.
Because the fans who really love the show know what would be make it good.
Right. And all the agenda would be stopped immediately, and I would not even have my own political affiliation in it, because Honestly, you shouldn't do that. You should never do that. It's a no-no. Even if they had storylines that aligned with my political ideology, I would have thought, no, this is wrong. You shouldn't do this because this is supposed to be escapism, and this is what they've gotten away from. Look, Classic Who had a lot of political charged episodes, but it was in a completely different universe. If you're gonna do that,
Rocket Runner, Blue for showrunner.
I wish I had the money. But I don't think I don't know if they would even even if I had billions of dollars to offer them, which I don't think I would ever have. I don't think they would let go of it because they want it. You know, I think it would be, you know,
they like, you know, pushing all this political shit, preachy shit. I mean, look at the one, was it Praxis, I think, that had to do with the plastic. And
why?
Why preach about that? Because we already know, you know, all the shit. Why try to?
I mean, look, the Green Death kind of touched on like toxic environments and, you know, environmental issues, but they did it in a way that wasn't like, you know, naming names and pointing fingers and virtue signaling.
They did it in more of a tactful way.
Mm-hmm.
And
I even think that, look, you got to be careful with that. You have to be. First of all, Doctor Who's about escapism. You know, what people want is to fly around in a TARDIS with a Time Lord and go on adventures and defeat evil. That's what people want. At the end of the day, I think as a fan, that's what you want. You want a fantasy, and people need that now. So yeah, I would know exactly what I would do. I know exactly what to do. And that necessarily doesn't mean I would put Peter Capaldi right back in the role. I would put him in for the regeneration scene. But I think he would be really, really instrumental being behind the scenes because
he was such a fan.
Because let me tell you, he has great ideas what to bring back because the Dr. Falls is any indication, that was a brilliant idea. And that was his idea and he pushed for that. And he would definitely, I would have him direct a lot. I would have him as a consultant. I would put things in front of him and give him, you know, like, you know, decision makings, you know, power. You know, I guess they could let me write a few episodes if they just be kind and let me do that. But I would love it. That would be my dream job.
Another classic one that's almost close to like the Green Death is Genesis of the Daleks. It really put you in mind of the fight between, should I or shouldn't I? You know, that moral thing that everybody struggles with, but they did in such a tasteful way. A lot of them, when they talk about back in Classic Who, they dealt with some of the stuff that was going on. They did in such a tactful way.
I like Genesis, but I like how Moffat, with The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar, how he kind of connected that together. And it ultimately, you know, the 12th Doctor had to make the decision that the 4th Doctor couldn't make. So I think that's a very interesting, story arc. I actually am very interested. One day I'm going to watch Genesis, and I'm going to turn around and watch those right behind it.
Yeah,
because I've heard people do that, and I heard that's kind of a cool thing. You get more out of it that way.
Sadako says,
"Yeah, I know. I think during the Christmas vacation and stuff that I had, I kind of put that on the back burner because I was doing other things. But yeah, I need to get back to that. At some point, I will. I get stuck on a lot of things, and then I forget about other things. So if I didn't have to work, I mean, that would be like that's all I would be doing. Just at some point you find I've been off this week. So I'm like, wow, I need to do this. And I actually had time to do things that I hadn't normally thought about, or I could get into Big Finish and I could do other things. And so when the power came back on, it was like, then I could really do other things. I get really distracted very easily. And then it takes me a long time to get on a new thing.
Yeah. I want to do a stream, more like a dedication to Paul McGann, but more or less to focus on his Big Finish stories.
Yeah, well, have you seen the TV movie?
I'm going to have to, I think you sent me the link to it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's still there, but yeah, it's It's not a great copy, but it's enough where you can get, you can
I'm
enjoy
gonna
it.
have to watch it to get an idea about it. I still need to. People are getting on me. Watch Red Dwarf. I still
I
need to.
understand. Like, I know you're listening. It's just like there's shows that people have told me to watch, and I'm like, okay, that's on the back burner. It's on my list. Eventually, I get around to doing it. But again, you get caught up, and then like, and usually I'm not into. It's weird because like Daniel's like, are you into big? Could you listen to this Big Finish? And it's like, I haven't had time. It's like I'm not. You have to be in the mood
Yeah.
for that too. So sometimes when it's brought up to me, I'm like, I'm really not in the mood for that. But then at some point I will be. It's like Star Trek Continues. Gary was like, you need to watch this, you need to watch this, you need to watch this. And finally I'm like, okay, I haven't watched every episode, but I've watched a large majority of it. So eventually you get around to it. You just
I watched the first episode of Enterprise with Scott Bakula, and it's like almost thought it's like, oh, Al's gonna show up, But when I watched him, it's like he's like totally different, not like what he was in Quantum Leap. It's like totally different personality. More, I mean, I thought, cool.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't think that it would be that. Yeah, I mean, you're playing a captain, you have to be much more in charge and things.
But he looked so different. The way he did it was, I didn't want to watch it because I thought about Scott Bakula in Quantum Leap. And I thought was, I couldn't do this. So I sat down. It's like, I'm gonna watch this, and it's like, whoa, I was like, cool. I thought,
I mean, there's shows that people have suggested to me that, you don't want to be like, you watch them and you're like, yeah, I don't like this show, but you don't want to say that, and there's certain shows that a lot of people think you'll like. And then you're like, no, this is, no. I've tried to watch Andromeda, and I couldn't get into it at all. I think I watched like 5 minutes of it, and I'm just like, no. I mean, I understand. I'm glad people like they're into something and they're excited, but there's not everything that people suggest to me I'm gonna like.
No, it's just you're gonna like what you're gonna like. I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of like me when I watched when we were doing a review of the first Highlander movie. I mean, it was okay. It explained a lot of. I mean, it's nothing like the series, but it explained a little bit more in depth about. And then you see the series. I mean, it kind of, the TV movie is nothing like the TV series, but the TV movie explained a lot about the Immortals.
I think it's a different thing, and I think that there was never an intention to continue with the whole thing anyway. So, it's two separate thing, and I don't look at it the same way anyway.
But it kind of explained. It gave me a little bit more understanding.
Right, it gives you more background, and it's about a different character. So I always think that's a kind of a separate thing. And it's whatever you're into. If you're not into it, that's fine. If you are, great. I mean, I just finished watching 1,245 episodes of Dark Shadows, so I feel quite good. But and honestly, I think it's if you can do it, do it. But I wouldn't blame anyone for not wanting to go, hey, I got this good show for you. It's only got 1,245 episodes. Go ahead, because at some point or another, when you're on the 990 episode, you're just like, now I just want to finish it.
Yeah, I like Hikaru. It would be a very boring world if we all liked the same things.
Yeah, it would be.
Like I said, Rock can come up with crazy, and then he can come up with some very good reasoning. I think he has a lot of information in his head, but sometimes
he has quite a bit of knowledge. I think he just he just pokes fun at himself because it's just what he does, and I do the same thing. It's like, I probably can remember more than I think I can, but it's at odd times.
Yeah. but it's just like when we were in Doctor Who chat, I had to miss a few part of it because I had a call from the career service advisor from the college I was at 3:30. I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna miss this. So whenever that was over, I came in, I got the tail end, and it's like, oh my god, I don't think I missed a whole
Yeah,
lot.
most of the time on Fridays I'm working and then I come home and I have to exercise because I can't do it during the work week. So I can't miss that. So I usually work out for an hour and 20 minutes that's the least. So by the time I get done and I've eaten, I'm like, oh, it's over. So if I can catch any of it, I get really, really happy because especially
Right,
when Dean's on.
yeah. Rocket Runner says I do have a lot of information in my head, but most of it is about weasels and on skateboards. Oh my god. It's like we wouldn't want Rocket any other way. We like him just the way he is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be very interested when he gets on a stream. That stream's gonna like you're gonna have so many viewers
Oh,
because it's like, okay, we got to hear this guy. We got to, we've seen him in text, but now we got to see what's
yeah,
you
yeah. He would be in high demand once he gets that
know.
webcam. Everybody
Hmm.
would want him on the
You
screen.
know, the odd thing is that I've heard from a lot of people that you and the other Michelle Burge, I
Yeah.
guess how you say her name, and there's some others that were like, oh no, I can't get on a stream, but then they get on a stream and then they're like, it's like they become a different person, and it gives them confidence. Um, the hardest thing for me was to get used to seeing myself on video. I don't know
Mhm.
if like to see like, oh my god, does my nose really do that? I mean, my god, do my teeth really look like that? Oh my god, you get really picky, but then at some point you're like, oh well, they get what they get.
Yeah,
And
and I don't like I mean, I don't mind my face on video, but it's like when I listen to myself,
oh, I can't listen to
I was like,
myself.
I can't. No, no,
I
no.
A lot of people they probably think I'm really like, God, she's so vain. She probably listens to her own streams. I don't. I do a stream and I don't ever listen to it again.
No,
And so
no.
when I hear people like, yeah, listen to that stream again, I'm like, oh God, oh God. And it's because I don't like the way I sound. I don't like my movements. It's weird. It's like, but I understand like when actors say like they can't watch themselves on film.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Rocket says, "I have a perfect face for radio."
That's what Jason says, but Jason's full of crap.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. And I'm sure it's the same with you. I'm sure you're
Yeah.
probably, I mean, how do we know? I mean, Rocket could look like, he could look like George Clooney or something, or, we don't know.
Uh,
I noticed that people that like put themselves down like that are usually the most good looking people.
well, Rocket has to, he has some I have a voice like someone's machine gunning Crow. I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't believe you.
yeah, but the way he does that, he says a certain it's like it's more or less in a funny way. It's like he I think he's more like a good comedian, you know. He's just the way
Well,
just
comedians always like they always put themselves down. I mean, I think everybody tends to do that. I think anyone with a sense of humor or any kind of way that, they're witty, they tend to do that. I do that. Like I always put myself down. And it's not because I really kind of feel that. I mean, I kind of do sometimes, but it's like it's almost like a mechanism so that if no one else will do it, if you do it, you know,
oh, and look like George Clooney, Brad Pitt, and Richard Gere all rolled into one. A big fat. Oh my god!
that's funny.
Oh god, Rocket is just. I mean, he. If you're in A stream and you're in the chat and Rocket's there, it's just. It's like he makes it. It's like it's just he's a riot. Not we wouldn't want to have it any other way. We like how he is and the way he. I mean, like I said, some of those caption competitions. I mean, he comes up with some good ones.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah, he does. There's some others do too. Retro Doc comes out with some good ones sometimes.
yeah, and so
Um, but
so
yeah.
Mr. Hyde does he?
Yeah, Mr. Hyde is he's kind of like can be quiet sometimes, and then he'll just come out with something like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious," you know.
Yeah, it's just but like I said, it's like I really enjoy doing some of the streams with reviews because she's like you get different.
I also think when you have a subject, it's better. I mean,
Oh,
because then you're like you don't get off on just. Although sometimes that works, like when you just talk about like the Womble chat and the Teletubby one.
oh God,
My God, I enjoyed just watching them laugh. I mean, half the time I didn't know what they were talking about. It was just seeing them just really get a kick out of it, and the fact that Gary didn't know what they were talking about was really hilarious.
oh, I saw some. I've watched a little bit of Teletubbies. And I'm like, oh my God, who came up with this?
Mm-hmm.
They must have been stoned or something. And then Barney the dinosaur. Oh my God, there's no such thing as a purple dinosaur. So what were they thinking? And one of my friends got me to listen to the Shark song. I don't want to hear that song again. Hearing it the first time was like, oh my God, it's like crazy. I mean, but the one stream I really enjoyed that we were doing was the Stolen Earth, uh, Turn Left Stolen Earth and Journeys, and that one was a really great one. And no one realized that this. They think, oh, Stolen Earth and Journey Center is two-part. No, it's a three-part. If you watch Turn Left, it flows right into the next.
Right, it does. I just don't think that they advertise it that way.
No, but that stream was for me was one of the best streams. I mean, all of them were good, but that one was really good.
Yeah, Sadako was talking about Neil's performance as Toberman in our script read, and that was really funny. I do remember that it was like dar or something like that. It was just like it's Toberman and that. Oh gosh, my mind just went blank.
Let's see. Baby Shark do. Oh God! Now I got the song stuck in my head. Liz,
and what I was horrified to find out is that the Teletubbies have children, and that was a funny conversation of how did Teletubbies have sex. That was, and then they figured out the antennas. That whole conversation was great. That was a great stream. And so you don't always have to have a scripted thing.
Yeah.
For it to work. I mean, it is good to go have a subject though, and like talk about an episode. And
yeah, I mean, some of the streams. I mean, I did movies, favorite movies, music, and I had Jason on, and that one was when we do the movies and the music. That was like those ones were fun. With Jason, that was like really cool and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't done a music stream in a long time. It's been a while. And those are always good because it's something different, you know. You get stuck on pop culture, and then, you know, but usually when music gets brought up, you know, it's generally like in another stream, and then you realize how much you enjoy talking about music, and then it's usually when you're like, oh yeah, we should do one.
Oh, look what Rocket said. Teletubbies have sex the same way as porcupines, very carefully.
Yeah.
I said Rocket comes up with his story. You ever watch it when the Doctor Who chat and they have questions and Rocket comes up with this strange? It's like three different things. How are they related? And like, what? It's like I would never. It's like I couldn't even fathom. I mean, he comes up with these stumped questions and stuff, and it's like when he comes up with questions like that, it's like what?
Where'd you get that from?
Yeah. Now I would like to do like maybe a quiz stream, but mostly do it on.
I am horrible at quizzes. I've never been good at them. I mean, I'm right because your mind completely goes blank.
Yeah, I was
and I'm just saying some of those questions, and I think it's hard because especially with music, because music's so subjective that I mean, what I would consider would be a good question and what somebody else would consider like a question everybody knows would be two different things. So yeah, I suck at quizzes anyway. I could probably have the most knowledge of Doctor Who of everyone in the world, and which I don't. But if I did, as soon as like it's a quiz, I'm like, oh shit, I've forgotten everything I know, everything. My brain just went blank. So
I mean, I would like to do it, but it's like okay, thinking up the questions I think would be the hardest part, and stuff like that.
well, you can actually go online, and they do have sites where you can kind of generate questions,
Yeah.
and those are okay. And then, I mean, first of all, you're probably not going to come up with anything like Ultravox does anyway, because I don't know.
Some of the now I picked Doctor Who as my bonus round.
I picked music, and I don't apparently listen to any of the same music that he does. So that really sucked.
Some of the questions, the Doctor Who questions, like what the, and I knew about Tish, but it was there.
Oh yeah, exactly. I knew her name, but it's like one of those rare questions you're not expecting to be asked.
I mean,
I think most people are expecting like, to be asked something they know. Generally that's, but yeah, Tish, I didn't remember.
I mean, I know it, but it was like right there, but it's like the name wasn't coming to me. I had an idea, but just in the one where the satellite, I put Angel, but then whenever they said Archangel, I'm like, oh fuck.
Right, and it's fine. It's all in good fun. I think, but I think that his questions are just trickier, or he's gonna do like obscure questions. Yeah, but if you really want to just do just a random quiz night, there is actually, I'll see if I can find it, but there is actually a place where you can get them. They do like random questions, and it depends on the level that you want to do. Like if you want to do hard, if you want to do, and they do have a level like that, or medium.
I would just, I don't know. It's out there, but it's like I have so many ideas running through my head. It's like unreal. On live streams, I want to do. It's like, okay, I want to do this. I want to do that, and it's like, it's just gotta figure out. So that's the reason why I don't do them, like every day, is because it's like I don't want to get worn out trying to figure. Okay, what am I going to do? Not what.
Well, do it on what you want to do it.
Yeah.
And if it works, it works. I mean, the thing is that you never know until you try. But I mean, yeah, there's some things, I'm sure like if you got on a stream and started talking about how to take apart carburetors, I don't think that would be very good for you. Obviously there's some things that, but if you're into that and you know something about that, then do it. If you, you have to try different things. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then don't do another one like that. Because if you don't, you never know if it works.
Oh, if I do a Matt Smith tribute stream, I'll be probably a blubbering fangirl needing to take a shower. Cold one. Because that stream would probably have to be adult rated. That and the Paul McGann one.
Yeah.
And I want to
believe that.
I want to do Peter Capelli one, but it's so you could be a part of it because I know how much you like him.
I do, but it would just be me, going on about certain episodes and no one would get to talk. So I probably, but yeah, I love talking about Paul McGann or Peter Capaldi anytime, any moment, John Pertwee, the oddest thing is that one of my favorite streams that I've ever done is the William Hartnell one. It really was. Rewatching some of his episodes really did make me appreciate him more. When we did the honor stream for him, that was actually my favorite stream I've ever done.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I'd done him the honor that he deserves that he hadn't been getting in the last few years. So.
Well, anyway, this stream is like
and I know that Doctor Who Chat's gonna be coming on pretty soon. So.
I decided I'm going to do a caption competition, and it's like I picked it. And I know you're going to see the picture. You know why I picked this one.
Okay.
And I know Rocket would come up with one. So let's Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Is it, oh, it's under this one right here. Let me do. Now you know why I picked that picture.
Okay.
I'm waiting because I want to give people
Right.
time.
Absolutely.
But that episode right there is him playing side by side like that. It sounds like it's almost like a split personality.
Right. Nightmare in Silver.
Okay, Rocket, did you get enough time to see the picture? Because I want to, split. But I'm going to get a second monitor so I can do that.
Well, they can still hear us anyway, if they're just looking at the picture.
Yeah.
So that's,
So we don't have to look at our ugly mugs.
Yeah, they don't have to look at our faces, and so they're probably like really relieved now. I don't know.
Okay, I think that was long enough to basically see. Okay, I was hoping Rocket would come up with a good one. I mean, knowing
No,
him.
give him a few minutes.
Yeah, give him a few minutes. But like I said, I got that from Dr. Who chat, so I thought, whoa, cool. I would like to do that because some of the reviews I find the perfect picture that would be good to come up with a good, caption. Like when I did the Mind Robber, or no, Time Meddler. I got the Time Meddler. I picked a picture where it's like the TARDIS is like really small.
Yeah, that was the last stream that I did actually. It's a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I thought that was a good picture to pick because it's like you can come up with any caption like that, And I like some of the pictures that
is that picture that you had up, is that actual photograph or is that a painting? Because it looks like a painting to me.
It looks like a photograph, but it could be a painting.
Why I'm saying that is because the image on the left, it looks like it's almost, I mean, it's really cool. It just looks like more like, I don't know. Yeah. Or maybe it's that they did a painting over it. But anyway, it's cool.
It's a cool picture. I have on my desktop, my screens, my when you sign in, I have a picture, Matt. My lockout, this before you type in the number to get in is Matt Smith. So it's like I have a lot. Okay, here it comes up. Caption: you do know both of us on the screen at the same time is going to give Michelle. Oh my God! Thankful we're not McGann. She'll be
stuck to her chair. That's a good one.
That right?
See, I wouldn't have come up with that because I look at that and my mind goes blank because I'm not really good with captions.
No, I know. I know. Neil Perkins is not good either with the.
I'm just like, yeah, it's a great picture. That's all I got.
Oh yeah, but the whole thing I love about Rock. See, he has to. Well, see, he knows how I am whenever it comes to Palm again and Matt Smith. I need to take like a cold shower.
Also, whatever you do, don't watch The Crown season 1.
How come?
I'm just saying, just if those two pictures, because there's a scene where he gets out of bed and you see a whole other side to Matt Smith that you've never seen before. So you probably shouldn't watch that.
Oh yeah, probably should watch that.
She's gonna be after the stream.
Yeah,
that's why she'll be late to Doctor Who chat because she will be looking at pictures.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, there was a couple of streams. I think it was a Doctor Who chat. I was laughing so hard they had to say, "Breathe, Michelle, breathe," and I think it had to do with the goat one. I was laughing so hard. Well,
that's what's great about having a group of friends that we all have a sense of humor and we don't take anything too serious. So that's always a great thing.
We all need happy streams just to get through the day.
We all need to laugh.
Yeah, we all need to laugh. Well, I should cut this short so I can get myself lunch.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get lunch and then go down to the store or go down to the the liquor store and get some rum, and
Oh,
that
so
way I have
you,
enough time to come back for the stream. So
so you
to
can.
the chat.
No,
Yeah.
everybody's dared me to do a drinking stream. I don't know if that would be a good idea.
From personal
Oh,
experience, I don't know.
uh-oh. This time tomorrow, Michelle would binge watch from overhead.
Yeah. I don't remember what episode, but yeah, it's all
Oh,
there.
Michelle, we were all laughing so hard at the. Yeah, I could tell. Even Yvette was like, "Man, it's just like."
You know, if I ever say anything, I swear, you guys will never let me down, let it go, or let me get away with it. So I'm very careful with what I say. I'm like, they'll be watching, waiting for me to say something.
Well, we all need to get something to eat, and we know the rest of them need to get ready so they can get ready for the stream.
Yep.
And I need to get myself some like lunch, So and then be ready for the stream. Man, today's a busy day. My anniversary of my live stream, and then going to the sci-fi. I love oh god, now I can't think. The name escapes. Oh, Indiana Jones. I love all the movies of Indiana Jones.
Except the last one. Don't like that one, but the other ones are right.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for that stream. That would be really great to listen to. So they're gonna do the Next Generation one. I would love to be on it because Next Generation I love. Uh-oh. Michael and
Michelle and Blue, yeah. It's been a great
Blue. It's been great. Yeah.
It really has. It's been fun.
Yeah, I knew.
It's been real, and you guys made me get my Jodie Whittaker Funko Pops out, so
and use them.
I gotta put them back up.
Use them as doorstops.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. That's a great idea.
Thank you very much for you. But it's been a pleasure. It's just
as always.
It's just so happened this fell on the sci-fi stream.
Oh, we made it work, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah, but anyway, thanks for y'all showing up. I'll probably see you in the chat for the sci-fi.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, be there, and she'll have her alcohol too.
Yeah, so I'll be just.
Oh! Any stream where Blue gets her Funkos out is a good.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not Jodie.
Yeah, especially.
You know what I'm thinking about doing when I get that Funko Pop from
doing unboxing.
I was thinking about doing an unboxing stream because it's Crowley.
Mm-hmm. And you actually be interesting to see if you get the Chase variant, which is a little different than the Chase. The Chase variant is different and it's rarer. So if you get that, it's actually interesting. So I'd be very interesting to see which one you get.
Well, anyway, folks, I'll be figuring out what live streams I'll be coming up with. It's just, in midst of whatever's going on in real life. So I thank y'all for coming, and I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, and I'm glad to have you on, Blue. So everybody, see you in the sci-fi stream, and y'all have a good day.
All right. Bye.